Hello everyone, this is Frostgrave. I'm playing the Mausoleum scenario from the core rulebook, but I am playing it solo using the rules in the book Perilous Dark. So this is the wizard phase, and our wizard Sabrina, she uses one of our actions to actually climb up the ladder to the high wall, and there's a treasure token there. However, she stays put and she used the group activation with her other action in order to get one of her soldiers up the ladder as well. Now you'll see the dwarf Baron. There he is with the group activation. He climbs up the ladder, and he also takes the treasure token. Now for creature phase 1, we have the battle here at the base of the stairs of the mausoleum. Two giant spiders. First, one of our men-at-arms battles a spider. He actually wins the combat and destroys one of the ice spiders. And our second warrior, Lucius, unfortunately he was wounded. If you remember in the first video, Lucius is actually very wounded. The spider attacks and unfortunately wins the combat. Lucius is therefore taken out of the game. There's poor Lucius. He falls. During the apprentice phase, our apprentice actually summons an imp. She uses the summoner spell, and there's the imp. It appears within line of sight of our apprentice, and there's another view. There's the imp in the middle. In between, there are two skeletons in the back, and our apprentice in the foreground. There's one of the skellies. Now, during the creature phase 2, that skelly actually moves into combat with the imp, using the rules for monster movement. And the imp and the skelly battle it out. And there are the rolls, and as we can see, the skelly really wins that fight. Does enough damage to destroy the imp that the apprentice has just summoned. And during the soldier phase, our archer fires a shot at the skelly, but misses. Also during that soldier phase, one of the warhounds leaps on top of the wall towards the skelly. And all of the warhounds actually move into combat with the skelly. And eventually destroy the skeleton. During the end of turn 3, I roll to see how many creatures spawn and from which spawn points. We have two skeletons spawning from the mausoleum. That's one of the spawn points. So that's not good. There are the two skeletons again, coming out of the mausoleum. And then we have a Bone Hulk, which is really a troll skeleton. I made this one up. He spawned out of one of the spawn points. And that was it. That's all that spawned at the end of turn 3. We are now in turn 4. And the wizard's phase. So Sabrina, she rushes towards the second treasure marker, using both her actions. You can see her dwarf man-at-arms right behind her heels. He is carrying a treasure marker, so he is slower. And she moves and comes base to base With her second action, she moves and comes base to base with the second treasure marker, and she picks it up. Back to the apprentice phase, or actually creature phase. Creature phase 1. The Skelly attacks our elven archer and misses. And then, according to the monster rules, I move the big troll skeleton, and it moves away from the multiple enemies that are on the board. There's the troll skeleton slowly slumbering towards one of our heroes in line of sight. And the spider moves into contact with our man-at-arms named Donovan. The spider attacks. And there are the rolls. The spider does get a +2 because the rat is also in combat with Donovan, but it fails miserably and takes 8 damage. Therefore, it is destroyed. Donovan now faces the rat. A close one, but he wins. And the rat is destroyed. The apprentice phase for turn 4 sees Luna going into combat with the Skelly and destroys it. Creature phase 2 has these skeletons moving into position against Donovan. And in the soldier phase, all of the little hounds actually move one by one. And here is a view of the board to show you where all the pieces are. There are the warhounds, the apprentice. You saw her earlier. We have Baron the dwarf there with our wizard Sabrina, our main character. And there is the dwarf with the treasure markers. Can only hope that they can get out of the board. There is an empty spawn point. And our archer, one of our archers. We are nearing the end of turn 4. So, the last of the soldiers, the archer, fires into the Skelly, destroying it. And that is it. That is the end of turn 4. Before we begin turn 5 and 6, that will end the game. Hopefully, Sabrina can get out with the treasure. And we have one casualty.